Hey, welcome. Today we're going to talk about the DP PAYT form with your FRS drop termination. All right, this is one of the most important forms that you will fill out in your retirement from the drop program. What this does is this lets the Florida retirement system know how you would like your drop funds distributed. All right, so to get into the form, the top portion here that you see in the box is going to say your member name and member social security number. This should be pre-filled out, okay, with your information. If something does not match or is not correct, you will want to contact the Division of Retirement and they will resend you a new form with the correct information. Just so you know, these forms are typically sent out 90 days before your drop termination date if you are going your full window. So typically that's a 5-year window. All right. If you want to leave before then, you will need to request these forms with the date you would like to leave on it. All right. So with that being said, your drop termination date is going to be right here. And this should be pre-filled out as well. If that doesn't align with your termination form, another form, and there'll be another video on that form as well, but if it doesn't line up with that particular form, then you will want to request a new form here and make sure that they are the same, okay? And what those forms are doing essentially is telling your employer, they're signing off on it saying you're retiring on this date, and it's letting the Florida retirement system know you're retiring on this date because they're going to send you your pension. And they want to make sure that you get your pension at the correct time, okay? So, get down from there, we're going to see the 3 options that you have when it comes to how you would like your drop funds distributed, all right? And we'll touch on these a little bit here. So, obviously, the first one here is the lump sum option. Now, the lump sum option is Uncle Sam's favorite. Why? Because you're going to pay the taxes on all those funds all at once. And so what that means is, just a quick story. So if you were working 6 or 8 months out of the year and collecting a salary, and then the other 4 months of the year, you're collecting your pension, Social Security, and then you got $100,000 out of your lump sum, all of that is going to count as income for that particular year. So typically what that means is you're in the highest tax bracket that you have most likely ever been in, okay? So a lot of times that is not the smartest option. Some people choose it depending on their situation, but I'd advise you to talk with your tax professional to make sure that you understand the implications that it could have, or get with us and maybe we can show you a way to systematically withdraw it so that way the tax burden isn't as high. All right. And what we'll do is we'll go through a needs, goals, and priorities checklist with you to see what you need it for and what makes sense and maybe come up with a plan to get that completed. All right. So the direct rollover, which is your second option here in the blue, what that is that means it goes from drop, which is a pre-taxed account, into a qualified plan such as an IRA, 403B, 457, any type of qualified plan that you might have had set up already or wanting to set up for this particular account, okay? You can use the Roth option as well, and you can see right here, you can either choose 10 or 20% to be withheld if you go into the Roth account. It will default to 0 unless you choose. And again, talk with your tax professional, make sure that it makes sense to go into a Roth account because again, you're going to pay taxes on those funds. Okay, this should automatically be filled out over here with the total amount. So you should see the total amount over here automatically. And then also on your lump sum option, it would show you what it would reflect with 20% off based on taxes. Okay, they will hold, just so you know, the Division of Retirement will withhold 20% of taxes. But again, if you worked 6 or 8 or 9 months out of the year, collected a pension or Social Security and got all that drop money, most likely you're going to be above a 20% tax bracket. So you will still be liable for taxes that particular year that you received your lump sum. All right. And then we'll get to the most popular option. And what that is the partial lump sum. Now, what the partial lump sum allows you to do is take a little bit out. So that way the tax implication aren't as high. A lot of times people want to pay off, maybe some debt, fix something on the house, roof, water heater, AC, something like that, or maybe do a renovation of some sort. And then they roll the rest over into a tax qualified plan so that the tax, they don't have to pay the taxes on the full amount, just whatever they pull out that particular year, okay? So again, that is the most popular option because maybe somebody wants to take a trip, right? Go on a cruise or go visit somewhere and, enjoy themselves the first month of retirement, okay? So with that being said, you will fill out your lump sum that you want here, and that will automatically correlate with whatever is here. So you don't have to change anything that's already pre-filled out. You'll just collect partial lump sum and put the amount that you want there, and it'll be taken care of, okay? It automatically goes into taking off of the top of whatever your total amount is. Now, you have to sign, and it has to be notarized when you sign it. So making sure that you understand which option you're going to choose and then having it notarized is important. So you want to talk with someone like us or someone that maybe you have your 403B or 457 deferred comp with already, and then go ahead and sign off on that. The second page is where you're going to have it distributed to. So if you're opening a traditional Roth IRA, you will put that financial institution. So if it's, let's say it's a nationwide 457 plan or VALIC 403B or anything along those lines, you'll fill out that financial institution, the account number, the phone number of that financial institution, the address, and then you will need a representative. So maybe whoever helped you open that account, or if you utilize us, we could fill that out for you and sign off on it. So one thing to keep in mind is you are no longer subject to having to use an employer plan for a retirement account. So your 457s and your 403Bs and so forth, your employer only chooses a handful of companies that you can utilize for those retirement savings plans. Well, now what you want to do is assess your needs, goals, and priorities in retirement and choose a plan accordingly. So you don't have to use those companies. You have everything that's available to you now, and dealing with someone who is independent and just looking out for whatever your needs, goals, and priorities are is going to be important. So that way it gives you options, right? So don't just use your 403B or 457. Get a second opinion, and so that you can make an informed decision on what you feel would be best for you in your situation, okay? But other than that, that's really it. It's pretty self-explanatory, but the big thing is choosing which option and where you want your funds to go. So get with a professional. If you have some questions on it and you want to reach out to us, please reach out with the email or phone number. It will be in this video. And if you feel like any of the content that we're providing you guys is important, go ahead and feel free to like, share, subscribe, reach out, any of those things, and hopefully we'll continue to educate and help people within the Florida retirement system make good decisions with their retirement. All right, thanks and have a great day.